There's something off about your bedroom. It's not the decor. It's not the paint color. It's the feeling. The one you notice just before falling asleep or right when you wake up. It's subtle, like a quiet tension that sits in the air. And no matter how many pillows you fluff or candles you light, it doesn't really go away. You might chalk it up to stress, or the season, or maybe age, the way sleep changes as we get older. But here's a quieter possibility. What if it's the room itself? Not the idea of the room, but the way it's laid out. The objects, their placement, the flow, or the block. The way certain corners feel a little too still. The way the bed seems fine, but somehow never restful. The way you and your partner barely touch, even in a queen-size space. This isn't about superstition or home trends. It's about how space affects the body. The way a chair placed in the wrongs can make you avoid that side of the room altogether. The way a mirror across from the bed catches your reflection in the dark and suddenly you're not sure if you feel seen or exposed. The way clutter near your feet can turn sleep into a series of interruptions you don't even remember. These things sound small, and on their own, they are. But in a room meant for intimacy, for deep rest, small disruptions add up. They create distance. They create noise. Sometimes, they create loneliness in a room for two. This episode isn't about redesigning your space. It's about noticing it. The overlooked, the misplaced, the too much and the not enough. It's about asking, gently, is your bedroom holding you or holding you back? Part 1: The chair no one sits in. You bought it because it matched. Or maybe because it was on sale. A reading chair, you told yourself. Or a place to put your throw pillows at night. But it became something else. Quiet. Untouched. Occupying space in your bedroom like a person you never really invited, but never asked to leave either. There's a chair in your bedroom that no one sits in. Not your partner. Not you. It's never used. And yet, it's always there. Taking up space. Quietly commanding its own presence. And the longer it stays, the more invisible it becomes until one day, you stop seeing it at all. But your body still feels it. The energy still shifts around it. This isn't about furniture. It's about avoidance. It's about how space stores emotion and how that emotion moves through the room, with or without your permission. A chair that no one sits in can become a symbol of tension, of separation, of something unspoken. In a room that's meant for comfort and connection, its silence speaks volumes. Maybe you placed it there during a more hopeful season. Maybe it was meant to be a spot for quiet, reflection, or joy. But now, it's just a space you don't use and don't question. And yet, your body notices. You step around it without thinking. You don't put anything on it, but you don't take it away either. You avoid looking directly at it at night. It becomes a placeholder for the distance between what the room is and what it was supposed to be. In relationships, energy shows up in subtle ways. Not everything broken makes a sound. Sometimes it just takes form in clutter, in imbalance, in the things we've stopped using but haven't let go of. That chair, in its stillness, reflects a kind of emotional inertia. One that says, I'll deal with it later. But later doesn't come. Now let's pause. What would it mean to move the chair? Not throw it out. Just move it, a few feet to the left, into a corner of the house where it gets light again, where someone might sit in it. What would that shift say to your mind, to your body, to your relationship? This isn't about redecorating. It's about releasing. That chair has held space for something. Maybe for grief, maybe for exhaustion, maybe for the version of you that stopped reading before bed, that stopped waiting for good news, that stopped making space for softness. It's strange, isn't it, how we arrange our spaces as if we'll always feel the same? But feelings change. Seasons shift. And our homes should, too. A chair that once served you might now be silently crowding your peace. And that's okay. You're allowed to let it go. This is the part of the story where small things make big changes. where a single object in a room can shift the way you sleep, the way you breathe, the way you touch or don't touch the person beside you. Because every object holds energy. Every piece of space sends a message. And the chair that no one sits in, it's speaking. So tonight, before you crawl into bed, look at it again. Not with guilt, not with pressure, just with presence. Ask yourself, do I still need this here? Does this serve me now? Or am I just letting it linger because I've forgotten how to notice? The answer might not come fast, but the asking, that's where the shift begins. Because a bedroom should hold you, not just your things. Because sometimes, love doesn't fade. It just gets crowded. Because the space between two people isn't always emotional. Sometimes, it's literal. And maybe, just maybe, the first step toward reconnecting is moving the chair no one sits in. Part 2: The mirror that sees too much. You don't notice it during the day. When sunlight floods the room and everything feels brighter, simpler. But at night, when the house is quiet, the lights are low, and your thoughts are louder, that mirror across from the bed becomes something else entirely. At first, it just seems reflective, decorative, maybe even helpful when you're getting dressed. But over time, it starts to feel different. It holds light long after the lamp's been turned off. It catches movement you're not making. It reflects you, even when you're not looking. And when you're lying in bed, trying to let go of the day, your body might still be facing the ceiling, but your nervous system is facing the mirror. Because a mirror isn't just a surface. It's a witness. And when placed directly across from where you sleep, it doesn't just show what's in front of it, it amplifies it, doubles it, stretches it across your most private space. It turns your rest into performance, your stillness into exposure. This might sound subtle, and it is. That's what makes it so powerful. You don't consciously think, I can't relax because of that mirror. But you might notice that you wake up feeling like you haven't fully rested, that you're easily startled, that your partner sleeps with their back to you more often than not. That something feels open, when it should feel held. In some cultures, mirrors facing the bed are considered bad luck. But you don't need to believe in superstition to feel what this does to a room. The body knows what feels safe, what feels soft, what feels seen versus watched. And a mirror that stares all night can turn intimacy into observation. It can replace warmth with hyper-awareness. There's a difference between being seen and being reflected. One involves presence, the other, repetition. And repetition, especially of tension, of distance, of silent turning away, becomes exhausting. Maybe your mirror was never meant to be across from your bed. Maybe it ended up there by accident. Maybe it's been there for years, part of the background, like a framed photo you no longer remember choosing. But if you've ever caught your reflection in the middle of the night and felt unsettled, not frightened, but fragmented, that's a message. That's your body asking for privacy, for peace, for protection. We live in a world that already asks us to perform, to smile, to show up, to stay visible. The bedroom should be the one place where we get to disappear a little, to soften, dissolve, exhale. And anything that makes us feel seen when we don't want to be doesn't belong there. So what do? You don't need to get rid of the mirror. You don't need to rearrange the whole room. Start small. A lightweight cloth, a soft throw, something you drape gently over the glass at night, like putting the room to sleep. A symbolic closing of the eyes. A reminder to your nervous system that nothing is watching. Not now, not here. And as you lie back in bed, notice how the room feels without that reflection. Is the air a little warmer? The silence a little deeper? The distance between you and your partner a little less sharp? Mirrors aren't the enemy, but they're powerful. They extend space and sometimes extend discomfort. When placed without thought, they echo things we don't mean to repeat. When placed with intention, they can open a room, catch light, remind us of beauty. But at night, when the world has already asked too much of you, What you need most isn't a reflection, it's rest. This part of the bedroom, this small surface of glass, might be affecting you more than you think. And shifting its role, even temporarily, might change how safe you feel to close your eyes, to let go, to turn toward the one you love and not see two of everything, but just one moment, one breath, one bed. Because your bedroom doesn't need to reflect you, it needs to hold you, and that mirror, it's seen enough. Tonight, let it sleep too. Part 3: The room for two that lives like two rooms. The room was meant for two. That's what the size said. The bed, queen or king, has space for two bodies, two rhythms, two sets of needs. But something changed along the way. Slowly, quietly, without you noticing. Now it feels more like two rooms divided not by walls, but by silence. Look around. His side. Her side. One nightstand has charging cables, water, a stack of books. The other has lotion, tissues, maybe a small clock that no longer ticks. The lamps don't match. The bedding is neutral enough to feel safe, but not warm. It's functional, clean, respectable. But where is the softness? You move through your half of the room like it's a hotel, organized, familiar, but not intimate. He does the same. You meet in the middle at night, under the same blanket, but somehow not under the same sky. This isn't about blame. It's not even about the relationship. It's about what the room is and what it's become. Because bedrooms, like people, evolve, and without attention they drift into something utilitarian, something efficient. Two charging stations and a mattress. But intimacy doesn't live in efficiency. It lives in overlap. In the moments where your space touches his, and not just physically. It's in the shared photo on the wall. The candle you both liked. The memory that lingers in a piece of furniture you chose together. These are the things that say, this is ours. Not mine, not yours. Ours. If your bedroom no longer has a space that belongs to both of you, you haven't failed. You've just paused. But the good news? You can press play again in small ways. Add one object that speaks to both of you. A blanket you both reach for. A low lamp that softens both sides of the bed. A journal left open with a note to one another. Even if it's just sleep well. This is less about decoration and more about declaration. A subtle one. A silent one. But still, a message: we're still here. In the same room. On the same side, even when it doesn't feel that way. Because rooms respond to energy. And when a space forgets it's shared, it starts to feel distant. But when it's reminded gently, intentionally, it opens back up. Just like people do. So tonight, ask yourself, what in this room belongs to both of us? And if the answer is nothing, what's one thing that could? Because love, like light, needs something to land on. And sometimes, that something is a space made just for two. Part 4: The energy that can't flow. You wake up tired. You went to bed at a decent hour. No blue screens, no heavy food. But still your body feels like it never fully landed into rest. Your dreams were scattered, interrupted. You shifted positions more times than you can remember. And when the alarm goes off, you don't feel rested. You feel unfinished. Now look at the room. How close is your bed to the wall? Is there enough space to walk around it comfortably? Or do you have to sidestep? Angle your body, suck in your stomach just to pass through. What's under the bed? A basket of clothes. A box of things you didn't know where else to put. Is the foot of the bed clear, or is there a pile folded laundry, bags? Something waiting to be moved tomorrow? The answer might seem like clutter. But what you're actually dealing with is blocked energy. In every room, energy needs to circulate. Not just metaphorically, physically. Your body responds to flow. Open paths invite ease. Tight spaces demand tension. Even when you're not aware of it, your nervous system is. And your sleep, it listens. When a bed is pressed too close to the wall, especially on one side, the person sleeping there doesn't just lose space, they lose agency. There's no easy exit. No graceful return. Even in deep sleep, the body senses this. And instead of sinking into calm, it holds back just a little. Enough to matter. The same goes for what surrounds the bed. Underneath, beside, at the foot. When the space around where you sleep is filled with unfinished tasks, blocked corners, or forgotten messes, your rest doesn't feel like rest. It feels like suspension. Like trying to sleep in a hallway where something could pass through at any moment. This isn't about perfection. You don't need to empty the room or move houses. But you do need to ask, where can I let breath return? Sometimes, that looks like pulling the bed just 5 inches away from the wall. Sometimes, it's clearing just one side so both partners can get in and out freely. Sometimes, it's choosing not to store anything under the bed, not because it's wrong, but because your sleep deserves a foundation that isn't carrying weight. Think about the feeling when you walk into a hotel room. Clean floors, clear surfaces, uncluttered corners, your body relaxes. Not because it's fancy, but because there's nothing pressing against your attention. That's not a luxury. That's space designed to let you breathe. You can bring that into your own bedroom in small, meaningful ways. A 5-minute reset. A single box removed. A nightstand top wiped clear. And suddenly, the air feels different. Your shoulders drop. You exhale without even thinking about it. The truth is, our rooms are always in conversation with us. And sometimes, they whisper that they're holding too much. That they can't carry our burdens and still offer peace. That they're ready for a little emptiness. The kind that makes room for rest to return. So tonight, when you stand at the edge of your bed, look at what's around it, not with judgment. Just awareness. Ask, is the energy in this room flowing or frozen? And if it's frozen, where can you melt it gently? Because sleep should feel like falling, not climbing. And energy, like love, needs space to move. Part 5. The corner light forgot. Every bedroom has one. A corner no one looks at, no lamp reaches it, no footstep passes near. It's not ugly, it's just forgotten. Quiet, dim, still. You might not even notice it unless you stop and really stare, but your body knows it's there. And over time, it becomes a kind of silence, the kind that lingers. At first, it was just a spot you didn't decorate. Or maybe you meant to add a chair, a plant, a shelf, something. But days passed. Then years. And now it's simply part of the room's shape. Empty but not open. Shadowed but not soothing. This matters more than it seems. In spaces meant for rest and intimacy, light isn't just aesthetic, it's emotional. The way light moves through a room affects the way you feel in it. And when a corner remains untouched by light, by presence, by attention, it holds a different energy. Not dark like fear, just heavy. Like a memory no one wants to speak of, but no one's let go of either. Energy settles in still places. And when a part of your room never receives light, it becomes a pocket of stagnation. Emotionally, spiritually, even physically. That heaviness may not be loud, but it's real. It adds weight to the air. It makes movement feel slower, sleep feel stickier, even moods feel a little lower. Now pause and ask, is there a corner in your bedroom that hasn't seen the sun in weeks? Is there a space that never catches your attention because it never asks for it? That's the corner this part is about. The one light forgot. The one you forgot. So what can you do? You don't need to install a sconce or rearrange your furniture overnight. Start small. A warm lamp. A string of soft light woven along the floor. A candle that flickers for 10 minutes before bed. Even a mirror placed to bounce sunlight gently into that space during the day. And beyond light, give it presence. Place something there with intention. A meaningful photo. A plant that thrives on attention. A book you've already read but still love. Anything that says, I see this space now. I want it to breathe again. Because the corners we ignore don't disappear. They wait. And over time, they gather what we leave behind emotionally and otherwise. Soften that corner. Touch it. Acknowledge it. Let it live again. Because light isn't just about vision. It's about feeling. And when you light up a corner even just a little, You reclaim a part of your room and maybe a part of yourself. Because every bedroom holds stories. Some are loud, some are soft, but the quietest ones, they live in the corners. And maybe tonight it's time one of them saw the light. Part 6: The drawer you never open but still keep. There's a drawer beside your bed that you haven't opened in a long time. Maybe months, maybe years, and yet it stays right there, within arm's reach. You see it every day without really seeing it. You dust around it. You place your phone on top, but the drawer itself remains untouched, unopened, unspoken. Inside, there's no chaos, nothing urgent. Just things that used to matter and maybe still do, in ways you haven't fully named. Old birthday cards, a photo you didn't frame, notes from someone you no longer speak to, medication from a season of life you swore you'd moved past, pieces of paper with words you haven't reread and can't quite throw away. You don't think about that drawer often, but your body does. Your nervous system registers it, even if your conscious mind ignores it. Because in a space meant for deep rest, every object carries weight, and that drawer, it holds more than belongings. It holds pause, memory, hesitation, energy that hasn't moved in far too long. We often think that the things we hide are out of sight, out of mind. But in the bedroom, especially near where you sleep, nothing is truly hidden. The room feels it. Your breath feels it. The drawer may be closed, but the weight of what it holds leaks out, quietly, into the room's atmosphere. And no, this isn't about decluttering for the sake of minimalism. This isn't about aesthetic. It's about emotional space. It's about asking, why do I keep something I never touch? What does that say about the version of me who needed to keep it and the version of me today who's too gentle, too tired, or too unsure to let it go? We all have those drawers, the ones filled with in between, not junk, not treasure, just lingering. But lingering becomes stuckness, and stuckness shows up in how you sleep, how you feel, how you love. Sometimes, what keeps us up at night isn't a thought, it's an unopened drawer filled with unprocessed meaning. So tonight, you don't need to clean it out. You don't need to throw anything away. Just open it. Let the air touch it. Let your eyes really see what's inside. Name each item, softly, without judgment. And notice what your body feels as you do. Is there something that tugs at your breath? Something you've outgrown but didn't want to admit? Something that's waited long enough to be released? You don't have to decide anything tonight. Just open it, witness it. That act alone can shift the room. Because acknowledgement is a form of light, and light helps things move. And if, tomorrow, or next week, you're ready, maybe you let one item go. Maybe you let the drawer breathe. Because your bedroom isn't a storage space for the past. It's a sanctuary for the present, and your rest deserves more than what you've outlived. That drawer has waited patiently. But now, maybe it's your turn to choose what stays, and what finally gets to leave. Final. Your bedroom remembers everything. It holds more than furniture. It holds the way you breathe at night. The way you turn toward or away from the one you love. It carries the weight of the objects you've outgrown and the silence in corners you haven't touched in years. It holds your patterns, your pauses, your tenderness. And none of this is accidental. Science tells us that the brain is deeply affected by environment. Clutter increases cortisol. Poor lighting affects melatonin and mood. Blocked movement patterns influence the nervous system's ability to fully relax. We know these things not just because studies say so, but because we feel it. Deep down, we've always known when space feels wrong, nothing inside us feels fully right. Tonight, you've seen how small shifts: a chair no one sits in, a mirror that sees too much, a drawer you never open are not just decor choices. They are energetic decisions. They are stories we've stopped telling but never stopped living in. This isn't about perfection. It's not about fixing everything at once. It's about awareness, about returning to your space with new eyes, with softer hands, with deeper care. Because your bedroom is not just where you sleep, it's where your energy resets, your love rests, your spirit heals. It's not just where your day ends, it's where your whole self begins again. So thank you truly for walking through this with me, for being brave enough to look at what's quiet, for trusting that the most powerful transformations often begin with the most overlooked things. And wherever you are tonight, I hope your room holds you a little softer. I hope your breath feels a little deeper. And I hope that in some quiet way, you come back to yourself gently, fully, and without apology. Sleep well. You deserve it.